Welcome to Whispers of the Web, where the hidden gems of the web come to life. Join us as we unravel the most fascinating tales, secrets, and discussions from across the web. Every whisper has a story. If you enjoy our journey through the whispers of the web, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the intrigue. Story number 1. Am I the a-hole for calling out my stepdaughter's manipulation and her husband's racism? I, female 52, have been with my husband, 62, for 7 years. I am African American and husband is Latino. His daughter, Latina 34, is married to a white male, 35, Jim. My husband reached out to Jim on his never-ending well-meaning attempts to see his grandkids, 12 and 8. He offered to help Jim financially with the motive of seeing his grandkids. I do not agree with this strategy. Since 2020, stepdaughter has been no or low contact after telling her father how much she loved him, to 2 weeks later telling me that he was toxic and she wanted nothing to do with him. Stepdaughter didn't invite dad to her vow renewal ceremony in 2021 because of this mindset, and posted on Facebook prior that her mother was her mom and dad. Her dad read and was hurt. When he confronted her, she blocked him. Stepdaughter and Jim are always broke and rely on her mother to pay cell phones and only got housing independently recently. Jim is a self-proclaimed black man in a blonde-haired, blue-eyed body and boasts about his criminal record. Stepdaughter was parentally alienated by her mom against dad. My husband has done a lot since I have known him to explain after listening to dramatic false recounts of abandonment. Never happened. In the last 7+ years, she uses her children as pawns. She will let my husband see the kids and then not allow it. She will say, "Your granddaughter is upset with you because you were late to her birthday party," or, "My kids don't go anywhere overnight," but she will let them be driven out of state by her brother-in-law with a DUI history. 2 weeks ago, my husband says he thought he was texting someone else but was actually replying to stepdaughter's text, and when she asked him what she was doing, he told her that he was working on our building in New York City. He said he screwed up and was just waiting for her to call and ask for money. I was not happy about this accident. My husband told me that stepdaughter was wanting to speak with him. He gets on speaker and she asks him for $14,000 for their 23% interest rate car note and part of their rent, etc. Starts fake crying and telling her dad they're strapped because they just bought 2 brand new big screen TVs for their kids for Christmas. Then she resumed crying, saying, "Daddy, you have been telling Jim you want to help me, so I figured I would let you help me." Then gaslights him. I am crawling out of my skin because I see the manipulation. After her ask, my husband told her he would have to discuss it with me. I haven't spoken with her since 2021 when she labeled her dad toxic. It was not a contentious convo, but I confirmed that I would be on a hi and bye cordial basis with her. She called several hours later wanting to follow up. My husband is on speaker with her while I'm in and out of the room. I'm seeing the manipulation and fakeness during it, and it's irritating me tremendously. I couldn't take any more and told her that she needed to stop. She came back with trying to talk over me and, "This is my daddy." I told her I was tired of her talking over him and that this is a pattern. I've witnessed my husband on numerous occasions crying himself to sleep at night because of her and withholding of her kids, and I've been the one comforting him, not her. Stepdaughter gets more dramatic and, according to Jim, drops to the ground. Jim gets on the phone coming to her rescue and says, "Mind your business, N-word." Then tells my husband, "We need help." My husband told him, "You can't demand help." The conversation abruptly ended after I gave Jim what he called a history lesson on the use of the N-word. My husband is upset with me, saying I ruined his chance to see his grandchildren because he says that he was setting up lending money and in exchange he was expected to get easy access to his grandchildren, and that I ruined it by countering her crap with the truth. My husband said Jim didn't mean it when he used the N-word because Jim thinks he has a pass to use it because most of his friends are black. That is a hard no for me. I have to say, I am on the mom's side on this one. The daughter is clearly manipulative and very controlling over her father's ability to see her children. I would also want to protect my partner from that, but he is desperate to connect with his grandchildren. What I see happening is they would get the money and then they would withdraw contact once again. It's a really tough situation. I don't think this poster is the a-hole, it's definitely the stepdaughter, but I don't have much advice except going to family therapy. Story number 2. Am I the a-hole for kicking my husband out? I, female 27, and my husband, male 29, have been together since high school, and he has this friend, female 28, I'll call Lily. They never really hang out, and she is engaged, so I never thought anything of it. My husband and I have a 6-year-old daughter, and she is my pride and joy. One day my daughter had this sleepover at her friend's house, and I went to talk with the mom because she is cool. We ended up drinking wine and talking all night that I fell asleep, leaving my husband home alone. A few weeks later I come home from work, and he and Lily are on the sofa waiting for me. My husband kisses me and says that he loves me, then Lily says she is pregnant. I asked her how far, and she said about 4 weeks. I, being the idiot I am, asked if her fiancé knew. She said no because it wasn't his child. I got confused, then my husband started apologizing. Whenever I'm upset I tend to get violent. I pushed him to the floor and yelled for him to pack his stuff, but he wanted to explain. Apparently, he felt alone that night at the sleepover, so Lily came over to watch a movie. She started talking about how her fiancé couldn't meet her needs, and then she approached him, and they slept together. I then went upstairs and started packing his things, and he begged and pleaded with me. I kept saying, "How could you? I thought you loved me," and stuff along those lines. Then he kept trying to hug me as I started crying hard. I felt betrayed because I loved this man. He was the man of my dreams, and he cheated on me. After I got myself together, he told me to take my time and think about all our good times together, and he said it was a mistake that he will never make again, and that I'm the woman he wants, not her, and stuff along those lines. But I told him I wanted him to leave and that I'd call him if I wanted to make up. He got angry but said, "Fine, you're making a huge mistake. You know we need each other." I spent the last few days missing him a lot. He came over for Christmas and gave me and our daughter gifts. I still love him, and I want to forgive him, but I don't trust him anymore. Over the time we separated, we also hooked up multiple times because he'd come over and hug me and stuff, and it would just happen. Should I forgive him or just end it and get over it? It's been 2 months since he left, and he is sleeping at his parents' house. Lily had a miscarriage, but he didn't talk to her. I only found out from her fiancé because she told him she was pregnant, and so on. Also, only his parents and Lily know my husband and I are going through it right now. Also, sorry for my bad grammar and bad title. This poster definitely needs to leave this man alone and move on with her life. She is not the a-hole here. Her husband absolutely is. She was truly betrayed, and he got another woman pregnant, for crying out loud. There has to be trust for a relationship to work. She needs someone in her life to support her, and leaving him and to stop letting him come over and getting frisky. Story number 3. Am I the a-hole for telling my wife that I don't plan to be monogamous to her for the time being? My wife and I were separated for 6 months on her wish. Let's just say, both are at fault. But that's not relevant. I found out that she was having sex a few months into separation, and I called her in anger. She told me that we never talked about exclusivity in separation. We did not. It was a mistake. And if I want her to stop, she will. I thought about it, and told her to do whatever she wants. It's not like she can unscrew the man. And if she had sex one time, it's not different from having sex more than one time. I started dating again too, and I am in a kind of relationship with a woman. There are romantic feelings. We are not exclusive though. She can date other people and I can too. My wife wants to reconcile now, as she has worked on her issues, she is going to therapy, etc. I am open to it as there are kids involved, and I see a genuine change in her. We can make it work, but I am in love with this other woman too, and I want her involved in my life. So, I was upfront with my wife. I am willing to work on our relationship, but I am not willing to let go of my girlfriend. She said she never had sex after I called her that time, as she thought it would hurt our reconciliation if that happened. She even showed me the message of her to the guy about never contacting her again and blocking him 1 hour after I called her. I told her that she can't unscrew the guy, so it's not relevant that she stopped. I love my girlfriend and I like her company. She asked me how long am I planning to see her, and I told her as long as I can. She is not a fling, I love her. I can't just discard her, nor do I want to. I don't plan to build a family with my girlfriend, either does she. I just want her company. I want to build back my family with my wife. But I want my girlfriend too. My wife protested. But I told her that she was the one who wanted separation, so she can't expect me to not fall in love with someone else. So here we stand. I do want to reconcile, but I won't stop seeing my girlfriend. I love my wife and I love my girlfriend. I don't plan to choose. My girlfriend is okay with me reconciling with my wife. I would say this relationship is over then. If his wife isn't willing to be polyamorous with her husband, then that's all that he needs to know. She can be upset by him deciding to change how he views relationships, but he cannot force his viewpoint onto his wife. I believe it was his responsibility to communicate to his wife that he wanted to be polyamorous before she decided to stop seeing other people. But separation can be tricky. I'm going to say this poster is the a-hole, and it will likely end in him being divorced. Story number 4. Would I be the a-hole if I cancel my flight to Thailand because my sister wants to bring her dog on the trip? My mom, sister, brother, husband, and in-laws have been planning a trip to Thailand for the past 18 months, which will take place in 3 months. My mom and I are going for 17 days, and my husband is going for 10 days. This trip is primarily for my mom's 60th birthday, and my 25th birthday, which occur in the same week. I have been the primary planner, but my sister has also been helping. My sister, the dog, and her husband all live in California, but are British. So far, only myself, my husband, and my mom have actually booked to go. Yesterday, I expressed concern to my sister and mom that nobody else had booked on, yet my brother and his wife have managed to plan and book a skiing trip for January. Whilst this was dismissed, my sister sent a message after my concerns were said, in the Thailand group chat, happily saying that because she can't go to New Zealand now for 3 months, because the dog failed the guide dog exam and my sister does not want to put the dog under stress by putting them in the hold, and does not want to quarantine her in New Zealand. Instead, she will be starting the Thailand trip early by going to Thailand in end of January until end of March. She mentioned that the dog will be with her on the trip, and therefore, the dog will be with us on our family holiday. She never asked, and just assumed this is fine as we can make adjustments, and it is not too much different from organizing around a baby. She seems to think we will make it work. I have concerns for many reasons. She never asked us if this was okay. She has stated it as a fact that will be happening. The dog is a Korean Jindo, who has been rescued from a dog meat farm. The dog has many issues that have not been trained out of her, primarily guarding food and attacking dogs. As such, our dogs in the family, there are 3 of them, cannot eat in the same room as them, can't beg for food from the table, or have treats in front of her, or they will be attacked. One of the family dogs has already been attacked in this way. The dog is prone to violence. She has killed a cat in France. She has hospitalized another cat which came into the garden in England. She has attacked another family dog as above, and she has attacked other dogs in California. One needed veterinary assistance. She has even started to attack a dog she was friends with in California. This is what we do know, but very likely there are more instances. You may ask, why not muzzle her? She does have a muzzle, but it is not all the time, and she gets it off. My sister also feels guilty putting the muzzle on her. The dog cannot be left alone. If the dog comes on the trip, she will be with us, or my sister, all the time. When left alone, she is destructive. She was left alone in my flat in England, and ripped up one of my doors, but I was never told this behavior would happen. This means there are places and attractions we simply can't go to because we have a dog with us. One of which is the Khao Sok National Park, which we were planning to spend a few nights in. Thailand is a rabies country with parasites and pathogens that can be dangerous to animals. I think it's so irresponsible to bring a pet into a situation like this, especially because my sister doesn't like to quarantine her dog when coming back and forth between countries. This could harm her own dog and other animals in different countries. There are territorial dogs all over Thailand, and if we cannot leave the dog at home, there will be fights. This is likely going to be distressing for the whole group and my sister's dog. I can almost guarantee there will be fights when out with the dog because of the nature of my sister's dog and the nature of street dogs. It is irresponsible to put a pet in this situation. I believe for the above reasons, it is selfish to the family and cruel to her dog to not pay to board her in a safe environment where she doesn't have to be on a plane at all, like we have for our dogs, regardless of if it is in the hold or not. I have had enough of my sister being selfish with the dog and not taking responsibility for her dog's actions and what the consequences are for everyone else. She treats the dog as if it were a guide dog, taking her all over the world, and even tells restaurants and such that she is a guide dog so she can bring her dog wherever, when the truth is she is an untrained and dangerous dog. As a result, I believe that the trip will be ruined by making this trip all about the dog and whatever nightmares await us on this once-in-a-lifetime trip. I have spent so much time researching and was so excited to go, but now I feel it is ruined. If I express my concerns to my sister, I do not believe she will come on the trip without her dog, but I do want my sister and her husband to come. The dog is like a baby to my sister, and the dog cannot do any wrong in her eyes. If I do cancel, I believe my family will say I am overreacting and being dramatic and selfish. However, I know from experience of planning and going on a trip with all of them, except the dog because she wasn't in the picture at the time, to Japan, it was already overwhelming and stressful. And I can't imagine how much worse it will be with a pet. I feel mostly sad for my mom. This will be probably the last long-haul trip she will go on, as she doesn't travel well, and she was excited to spend her big birthday with her children, one of which has not bothered to book on yet. She also does not know what to do in this situation, as she wants to make everyone happy. I don't feel like I can manage my mum the entire time on a trip to Thailand on my own, and would prefer to rebook and go somewhere else with her that is less stressful and more of a resort type if nobody else comes and or this situation with the dog is likely to occur. I also feel sad that my sister has been in California for so long with no plans to come back to England. She didn't even come back for Christmas this year, and I have noticed over time, she has become a more selfish person, which is too long to put in this post. This assumption that we will all be okay with her bringing her dog on this trip has gone past the point I am okay with. I just wanted to go on a holiday with my whole family and make memories together, something we haven't done in years. Would I be the a-hole? Edit. Sorry for the confusion, she is not a registered guide dog. She somehow is a service dog in the USA, but I don't know how she got it. I think the sister is a bit entitled. I understand she's traveled with this dog before, but Thailand has a lot of requirements for travel, and if they aren't booked yet, it's likely too late to bring the pup. I also think the poster should talk to her sister and ask her to board the dog at least for the family trip. She doesn't have to board her for the whole 2 months, she can do it locally while the family is visiting. And the poster is correct. The dog will not be allowed in the national park. An out-of-the-country service dog paper will likely be rejected without matching medical reasoning. Who knows what the paperwork actually is? An aggressive dog cannot be a service dog in any capacity. I would say that the poster would be the a-hole if they cancelled the whole trip without first asking her sister to board the pup while the family is visiting. Once she has that answer, we can make another judgment. Story number 5. Am I the a-hole for not allowing my 9-year-old son to see his grandma, who he hasn't seen since he was 4, on her deathbed per his father's request? Trigger warning: abuse. Backstory here. I, 28 female, met my ex-husband at 15 while he was 18. Had our son, mentioned above, at 19 female and 22 male. We were married at 20 female and 23 male. Separated at 23 female and 26 male. He was the person who never learned how to take accountability for their actions, heavily enabled by his mom, and types out empaths and helper women who can be that for him. He was caught abusing our son, 3 male at the time, which was later substantiated in court, to which he is unable to see his son because of this. After his crime was exposed, he abused his girlfriend's 18-month-old son. At the time, she was 20, he was 27. He was charged with torture and abuse of a child under 6 years old. He was convicted in May of this year. Her son suffers from shaken baby syndrome and still has nightmares and terrors. Fast forward to present day. He's been dating a licensed master social worker for 9 months now. I know this because she's the one who contacted me asking for this exchange to happen. What I found out earlier today is that his girlfriend works at the hospice center that his mom is at. His mom is her patient. Am I the a-hole? Update. My husband called her boss. They were appalled. Agreed it was not okay or ethical. Thank God. Everything that has to do with him has me second-guessing myself. You all have no idea how much it means to hear all of you confirm what I knew in my heart. I messaged her and let her know that it was not appropriate. In so many words, I told her I felt bad that she was essentially put up to dealing with his negligent affairs, and told her not to contact my family again or further legal action will be taken. Her boss will be having a discussion with her. She will be reported to the licensing board. My ex's father showed up at our house while we were away this evening, caught by my Ring camera. I called the adult probation office and reported him to his probation officer. It would seriously behoove him to stop. I'm thankful this mama is fighting for her child to be free from their abuser. I understand wanting to see a passing loved one, but safety is of utmost importance. She was definitely not the a-hole and is a strong and courageous woman. Thank you for joining us for today's journey through the whispers of the web. Share your thoughts and suggestions for our next adventure. If you're not yet a part of our whispering community, click the subscribe button and click the bell for notifications to never miss out on another story. Join us next time as we uncover another enthralling tale from the web. Until our next whisper.